What's going on, guys? Jay Marley back with another episode of Marley Mafia, where we talk everything from the bills. Every now and again, we touch on politics. Always got to touch on the hottest music that's going on around in these streets. But mostly today, we're just going to stick to the bills talk. And something that's been on my mind that I want to talk about, well, somebody I want to talk about is Dawson Knox. I've been seeing a lot of people, just wanting to give up on the guy. And I understand tight end is not the same position as quarterback, so you can't be as patient, and it's always another great receiver or tight end coming out of the drafts. But for some reason, I see something special in Knox, and I just can't, I can't put my finger on what it is. And we look at his stats from this year. He caught 24 receptions and 44 targets for only 288 yards. 12 yards for average, 3 touchdowns. His longest catch was 36. He lost 2 fumbles. He had 2 fumbles and lost 2 fumbles. And, one of the fumbles, which game was? I think it was versus the Steelers. And he tried to reach out. He tried to reach out and get the first down. And as he was reaching out, I guess the ball hit the ground before, his elbows or knees hit the ground. And the ball, bounced out. It was a fumble. We lost the ball, We still ended up winning that game. But it's those type of plays, going into his 3rd year, I don't want to see any more of that. I really don't. But I see a lot of positive things in Knox. But it's like for every positive thing he do, or I should say for every 2 positive plays he make, it's always that one negative head scratching play where you just scratch your head and say, man, what is, do you think it's, and to me, it's not a physical thing, in my opinion, because from what I see, he got the body of a great tight end. You feel what I'm saying? He when he do catch the ball, he's physical. He's always fighting for extra yards, always trying to basically put, a DB on a highlight reel, man. No matter if it's just him trying to run him over, if it's him trying to get a stiff arm off, or whatever the case might be. And I feel like with Knox is more of a mental thing. I feel like once he get the mental things and the mental mistakes in order, because you'll see him make a crazy nice ass catch on the sidelines, but then the next 3 plays later or the next drive, he'll be wide open in the middle of the field or wide open down the field for a huge gain, and the ball is just he'll simply drop it. And when I see stuff like that, I believe it's more of a mental mistake than anything. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like it's more of a mental mistake. I feel like he thinks too much. He just need to go out there, play ball. But then again, we can't really judge him because he hasn't had, 2 years in, he has had the reps. But let's remember, he hasn't played a full season yet. All right? He haven't played a full season yet. I'm trying to bring up the stats of how many games he played, because if I'm not mistaken, man, Dawson Knox haven't. Let's see, man, because I know I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he is. His 2 seasons here, he has not played 2 full games. Yeah, I think he played 15 games in his rookie season, and in this last season, I think he played around 14 games. I just had it pulled up, guys. You gotta forgive me, man. I try to be organized and have everything pulled up. Here we go. Yes, I was right. 2019, he played 15 games, had 28 receptions on 50 targets, 388, 2 touchdowns. No fumbles, no fumble losses. His long was 49 yards. 2020, he only played 12 games. So, it's the injuries he got coming in. I feel like if he can get healthy and if he can just get all the mental errors and mental mistakes cleaned up, I have a feeling Dawson Knox can be a top 10, top 5 tight end in the league. He's still young. I'm not ready to just give up on him just yet. Like some other players, I might be ready to, kick the can on. I might be ready to, what is going on? Like Harrison Phillips, he's coming off his, 2, his knee injuries he's had. And I think we pretty much know what Harrison Phillips is going to be on the defense. He's a good rotational piece to our defense. He can come in on the line, certain plays on certain drives, and, he might make a splash play every now and again. But he is not our Ed Oliver, right? If anything, I think Harrison Phillips is a younger, way less experienced. Obviously, he's less experienced than Star Luther Taylor. He hasn't been around this long. I think, what is this? His third, fourth year he's coming up on. So he's just one of the examples of guys I know what they're gonna be. Dawson Knox, I don't know what he's gonna be yet. I don't think nobody knows what he's going to be yet. He hasn't played a full season yet. When he is on the field, he make a great play, and then 2 plays later, you scratching your dang head like, yo, man, what is going on with him? But I just, I want any other Dawson Knox criticizers to just be patient with him and look at it like this. We got a tight end who has all the physical tools, right? It's just the mental game he need to get in order. When you look at his drops, it's because he's looking ahead. Like I said, he's physical. He like lowering his shoulder. He embraces the contact. He like putting DBs on highlight reels, all of that. But see, that's the thing in the NFL with younger talent, man. They before the ball even touch their hand, they thinking, hey, what can I do to try to get to the end zone? What can I do to make this DB or this safety that's coming over the top? What can I do to make this guy miss me? Or how can I run this guy over? And that's the problem, because they're doing all this thinking and they're overthinking, overanalyzing things before they just simply just go out there, secure the catch, and whatever the football gods have in store for you after you make that damn catch, then so be it. But don't go around, trying to make plays before the play is even complete. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to make a play after the ball, but you don't even have the ball secured in your hands yet. So I guess I say that to say this. I have a lot of faith in Dawson Knox. I'm still a huge fan of Dawson Knox. He didn't play much at Ole Miss, so we can't really blame him for being raw. I think the same love and patience we gave to Josh Allen, let's extend that over to Dawson Knox. Let's give him one more year. If he come out this year and only play 10 games for fucking 20, less than 30 receptions, less than 500 yards, then maybe then there will be time for us to start looking on. Contract is coming up in a year or two, so he gonna have to put up or shut up. But like I said, I got faith in the young guy, and I think he can turn things around once he cleans up all the mental mistakes. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, that's all it is. It's a bunch of mental errors. Overthinking, overanalyzing, and trying to do too much. I think you need to relax. And I also think a good veteran, because let's be honest, man, Lee Smith and Dawson Knox is 2 different body types, 2 different tight ends. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Dawson Knox is not a good blocker, but Lee Smith was never the type of tight end we want running 10, 15 yards down the field trying to make a catch on the sidelines or trying to get into the end zone. We know what Lee Smith is. We know what he was. I love Lee Smith. Right? Lee Smith is great. I think he's going to retire. And even if he don't retire, I think it might be time we move on from him. Because when defenses play us, we don't need them to just be worried about, oh, we got to guard Diggs. Okay, we got to make sure we don't let Singletary dance around in the backfield and get a huge play. We got to make sure we keep Josh Allen contained. We got to keep an eye on Cole Beasley, one of the most shifty, one of the best slot receivers, their best slot receiver in my opinion. One of the best, top 3, and he not 3. That's just me being biased as a Bills fan, but I love Cole. I love myself some Cole Beasley, and I said in my introduction episode on the last podcast, I said I got love for the Giants. I'm a Bills fan, and a lot of people might be like, how the hell did that work? How is you a Bills fan, but you also support the Giants when you lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl? Well, first of all, we should have beat the fucking Giants. You know what I'm saying? A simple field goal, a couple feet the opposite direction, and we win that game. For 1. For 2, we don't play the Giants twice a year. We don't play the Giants every year. They're in a whole different conference than us, whole different division. They're not even in the AFC. And and if a Bills fan tell you he don't have an NFC team that he kind of favors and he kind of support, maybe he might be telling you a lie. Or, he might just be strictly Bills. I'm strictly Bills. I love my Bills. You will probably never catch me in a Giants jersey. Maybe a Giants tee, but you always going to see me in some Bills gear. But I got a lot of love for the Giants. I got a lot of love for Eli. I got a lot of love from Michael Strahan. I got a lot of love for them boys for what they did to the Patriots and just, always being an underdog. I love a good underdog story since I was a kid. Eli going against the undefeated Patriots. Can he do it? He did it. You know what I mean? He beat him twice. So, that's the type of stories I like. I love Eli. Shout out to Bleed Blue or Together Blue. Giants. Shout out to them boys. But, I think the Giants got a similar. Well, actually, I might get flack for this, but I would take Dawson Knox any day of the week over Evan Ingram. I'm sorry, I know he was in the Pro Bowl this year, but that was because a lot of people was injured. And I don't think about all the players that opt out that would have took his spot in the Pro Bowl. You feel what I'm saying? But it all goes back. I'm losing my train of thought. I got off topic when I started speaking about the Giants. But yeah, back to Dawson Knox, man. Teams need to fear our tight ends. I'm not saying we have to go out here, spend $10, $12 million on a top tight end. No. We bring in a good veteran who's been around the league. Kyle Rudolph is, one of my top picks. We get him in, bring him in for a decent price, and, let him teach Dawson Knox. Tommy Sweeney, I know he got his, illnesses going on and his injuries. But Tommy Sweeney, he come back, he might be able to step up in that Lee Smith role. If we got to get rid of Lee Smith, bring in a veteran and teach these guys, because people sleep on having good veteran players on the team to teach these young players. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I love Cole Beasley being around, because Cole Beasley can teach the Isaiah McKenzie's of the world. He can school Isaiah Hodgins of what it takes to be a successful wide receiver in this league. Do you think Frank Gore wasn't teaching Devin Singletary things when he was in Buffalo a year ago? All right. Do you think John Brown didn't school and teach Gabe Davis or give Stephon Diggs some tips? You understand what I'm saying? So with that all being said, I don't want to spend too much time on the subject. I already spent over 10 minutes on it. I'm not ready to just kick the can and give up on Dawson Knox. I want to give him one more year, see if we can get a full 16 games out of him. Bring in a veteran tight end so he can lay back and learn and don't have all the pressure of having to be that tight end number one. All right? Because that's what we brought Tyler Croft in the first place. We brought him in that tight end room to expand and have, more options and have depth, but he can't stay on the field. Tommy Sweeney can't stay on the field. Dawson Knox, 16 games played 2019, that's good. 12 games played 2020, we're going to need more than 12 games from Dawson Knox next year. We definitely going to need more than just 288 receiving yards. You understand what I'm saying? So I just think, we give him some time, and let's get on to some other news surrounding the Bills. We released my boy Smoke. Yes. John Brown played 24 games with the Bills from 2019 to 2020, catching 105 passes for 1,518 yards and 9 touchdowns. Most of that came in 2019 because Brown, he spent most of 2020 unavailable due to an injury. And when Brown was out, we had Gabe Davis and Cole Beasley step up. Even Isaiah McKenzie come in and make a couple plays. And, this is one that kind of hurts as a Bills fan. But at the end of the day, football is a business. If anything, it's a cutthroat business. We can't get attached to these players because nobody is going to be around forever. I just hope Josh Allen is around forever because that's my boy. I want to give him the Big Ben, Eli Manning treatment. Keep him around until he's ready to go. As long as he can continue playing at a high caliber level. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna miss John Brown. I think John Brown is gonna be just great. It is plenty of teams that is willing to pay him what we wasn't willing to pay him. Trust me. He already came out and said he wouldn't mind going to the Colts. I'm going to the Steelers. Well, he said he wanted to go to the Steelers because Big Ben can still chuck the ball downfield. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I just seen a tweet earlier saying Big Ben only hit on 21 out of 70 deep ball attempts. So if you going to Pittsburgh strictly to play with Big Ben, I love you, John Brown. I love you, Smoke, but don't get your hopes up. All right? I like John Brown. I think he's going to be great. He was great for the 2 years we had him. I'm sad he missed so much time, because you could definitely tell this season when John Brown wasn't in the lineups, it was tougher for our offense to move the ball. Even what Stephon Diggs, but it's only so much you can do with just one superstar receiver. You need that other receiver on the opposite side of the field that's also a threat, and that's what John Brown was, man. You make one fucking mistake when you're trying to guard him, and he's gonna take off down the field 30, 40 yards and leave your ass in the dust. Right? We seen him do it to the best of the best. I know all my Bills fans listening to this. I know y'all remember that Patriots game in 2019. I believe it was the second meeting we had against them boys. And John Brown just gave it to Stephon Gilmore, turned them all around, and went deep down the field. What was it, a 40, 50-yard touchdown? All right, and another reason I want to give John Brown his roses and his flowers before he just disappear out of the mind of most Bills fans come this time next year. John Brown played an extremely crucial role in Josh Allen's development. Having a legitimate deep threat that Josh Allen could rely on and chuck that ball up and know he got a chance of this guy burning the other guy and bringing it and taking it to the house, that was huge. So John Brown is going to be missed. But this story is not all sad because, with us releasing Brown, we're saving nearly $8 million in cap. That $8 million we paying, let's go give that to a good ass defensive end, a Carl Lawson, for example. Or let's use that 8 to try to bring back Milano. Maybe he gonna want more. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't want to overpay Matt Milano because he's another one who have a lot of health issues, if that makes sense. Injury prone, I should say. I shouldn't say injury prone, but he's had a couple injuries. All right, let's be honest here. But at the same time, when Matt Milano wasn't on that field, you could tell Matt Milano wasn't on that field. All right, our defense was not the same defense without him. But let's not pretend like we can't get another Matt Milano. Matt Milano wasn't a first round pick. If I'm not mistaken, we got him in the third, fourth round? So that's the thing with good teams and good GMs. Good teams and good GMs, if you draft good and you draft consistently every year, you're not worried about one of your top guys leaving. Because you always got that circulation and that flow of new young talent coming in to learn and step up and take that role, right? So, shout out to my boy Smoke. I wish you the best with whatever team you go to. I'll be rooting for you. 16 games a year, or 17 if with the games going on. I will be rooting for you, my boy, unless you play in my Bills. Only time I'm going to be rooting against you. Shout out John Brown. I really, really appreciate the 2 solid years you brought to us. And I appreciate your role in Josh Allen development. I really do. Okay, in addition to the Brown news, we also released Quinton Jefferson. And he appeared in 16 games with the Bills, had 3 sacks, 23 tackles, and 1 forced fumble. We saving $6.5 million off the cap with him. I'm not sure I 100% agree with letting Quinton Jefferson go, but I understand it. If he's not willing to restructure his contract, then hey, man, as much as I like you, you gotta go. This is the cap is only 180 something million this year, 184, 182, something around that mark. Don't quote me on that. But if you're not willing to take a pay cut and help the team, then we got to move on from you. Let's not pretend like he was the most productive guy, because he wasn't. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody on our D line was extremely consistent this year. Jerry Hughes might be the closest, and even he had his moments. Mario Addison, same thing with him. Mario Addison, we win that game versus the Cardinals if we simply make that sack. But, come on, it's Kyler Murray. It's Kyler Murray. It's Kyler Murray, man. All right? We don't even know if Myles Garrett make that sack. Kyler Murray is just that elusive. But I wish the best to Quinton Jefferson. I wish, it could have worked out better when we had him last year. I wish he could have been more productive. I was hoping to see at least 5 sacks from my boy. All right. And he played all 16 games, so not really the most productive year. All right. And now we also got Vernon Butler agreeing to terms of a reduced deal. And I would rather have Quinton Jefferson than Vernon Butler. But Vernon Butler, he was willing to restructure his contract. All right. So I salute that. If you're willing to take a pay cut and stick around on the team and, try to run it back another year, I'm all for that. But at the end of the day, something has got to change with this damn D line. Because all the flaws in our defense, it's not Jordan Poyer, right? It's not Michael Hyde. It's not Tre'Davious White. All right? Our secondary is legit. Even with Levi Wallace, I'm not comfortable with him being CB2. At this point, I wouldn't mind, haven't seen what Dane Jackson can do. Them 7th and late round picks, they be having chips on their shoulders. You know what I mean? You mess up out there, and them late round draft picks, they got something to prove. They got family to feed, just like the next guy. So they be having a lot to prove. And I like Dane Jackson. I like physical corners. I like cornerbacks that come up and help in the run game, not scared to tackle. That's what I like about Tyron Johnson. Same thing with him, Mr. Pick Six. Mr. Give me that. Take it to the house. My boy. All right. I love Ed Oliver. I do. I love AJ Epinesa. But we need more production from our defensive line. We will not win a Super Bowl if we can't consistently stop the run. Defense wins championships, and we're right there. We're so close. We should have beat the Chiefs, but that's a different conversation for a different episode. I'm not going to get into that, right? But seeing what the Bucs did to them boys in the Super Bowl, maybe I'm biased. I know we don't got as much talent as, the Bucs do, but goddammit, we not that far off. All right? And shit, we could have beat them boys. I feel like it was a poor game plan and even worse execution from the team. But I feel like we could have beat them guys, right? So, I don't want to give up on Dawson Knox. I'm going to miss John Brown, but this is not the end of John Brown's career. Trust me, we got plenty more good years in him. If he can stay healthy, any team is going to be lucky to have that guy in there. Great guy in the locker room and an even better guy on the field. Quinton Jefferson, he'll be missed, but he wasn't the most productive guy. But I would rather have him around, than some other guys that's still on the team, right? Vernon Butler, it's time to put up or shut up. Next year, we need to see a change in this defensive line, right? Matt Milano, I would love to have this guy back. It's something about the players we draft that actually want to be in Buffalo that I really get attached to. Not saying Matt Milano wants to be in Buffalo, but I haven't seen anything that says otherwise. You know what I'm saying? You got the Stephon Gilmores of the world who never wanted to be here from the jump. But those homegrown Bills players, I got a lot of love for those guys. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe that's why I'm so lenient with Dawson Knox. If Dawson Knox was somebody we brought in free agency and he was performing the way he was performing, I'd be like, hey, man, get the hell on. Cut him. Get rid of him. Let's upgrade. Since he's homegrown and we brought him in out of college, I can't explain it, but I get attached to those guys because I see them guys come in from their college days and I see them working hard and every player in the NFL deserves the money they get. And, a lot of people might not agree, but they deserve the money they're asking for. Even Dak Prescott with the huge amount of money he got. We all know in the NFL, one wrong play, one bad play, That's all it takes to end your damn career. And you might not ever be able to step on the field again. Alex Smith is a fucking perfect example of who could have lost it all. But he fought back. But every player is not going to be Alex Smith. Every player is not going to have the drive and the will to come prove the world wrong like Alex Smith got. So I salute these players getting money. And I said it on Twitter. I say it again. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I don't like the Cowboys. Mostly because they fan base, right? So if you ask me, they should have paid Dak Prescott double what they gave him. You know what I mean? They should have gave him double. You know, that's just me, you know. But that's pretty much all I got to say for this episode. Shout out to all of my Bills fans that tune in and listen. I really appreciate you guys. Also, you probably know by now the title. I said in the beginning, I figured out the name, Marley Mafia. A spinoff of Bills Mafia. I'm Jay Marley. Marley Mafia. I think it's a good podcast name. Some people already told me it was corny. But hey, man, everything is not for everybody. And I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit around and, oh, well, this guy said it's not a good name, so I'm not going to use this name. Nah, I like it, Marley Mafia. Because once I get my fan base and my people listening that come around, we're going to be just like Bills Mafia. We're a family. We're going to stick together. If you're listening to this, I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. You know, like I said, this is only my second episode in. I know I'm not the best at this, and I'm pretty sure it's a million other better Bills podcasts than this. But hey, man, I'm learning. This is something I want to do, something I want to stick with. This has been Jay Marley. I'm signing off. Thank you for listening. Peace.